It's time for Milberger's Gardening South Texas, live from Milberger's Landscaping and Nursery at 1604 in Bulverde Road. During the next 2 hours, our experts will help you with your gardening questions when you call 210-308-8867. That's 210-308-8867. Or come by Milberger's during the show and have your question answered in person. And now it's time for Milberger's Gardening South Texas on 9:30 a.m. The Answer.
And welcome to Milberger's Gardening South Texas on 9:30 a.m. The Answer. Milton Glueck along with Dr. Calvin Finch, Mark Peterson, sitting on the porch on an absolutely gorgeous South Texas day in December, which is weird, but that's okay. It's a great day.
It's fabulous.
The breeze is coming right at us if we look at the flags.
Just like to promote that. Talking to relatives this week. Hi. What's the weather like? Oh, it's 28 and windy. And, hi, it's 82 and sunny.
Yeah. Yep.
It was lovely torment.
Yeah, what is the, I'll get the weather.
And now I expect a phone call in January. Or, July or August.
When it's boiling hot?
Yeah.
Well, in the Express News, yesterday was 40% chance of rain, but Thursday it was 40%.
Somebody said that the rain that was coming from Houston, Louisiana, all that they were getting was the rain that we were supposed to get but didn't get.
Yes.
Is that right?
Yeah, that's right. It basically started in Guadalupe, Gonzales, and Seguin and moved east.
Oh, it moved east.
It started right on the other side of 35. Like we were like stepchild or children.
But then
I understand. Whatever.
We're on the other side of the highway.
Yeah.
But then they, in terms of prediction, they predicted that a 0.05 inches of rain, little drizzle, I guess.
0.05 or 0.5?
No, not 0.5.
No, not half an inch. No, it was like barely one. When you get down to those low numbers,
we got
really
some
matter.
Rain showers this morning.
Not so much on the south side of town, but
really?
Downtown where I live now. But as I drove up, I went,
yeah,
it appears that they got a good amount of rain.
No, well, and a little bit. I mean, not a lot, but it was when I was coming up 281, got a quick shower, and
that's what it looked like.
Yeah, so
a good shower.
And Milberger's obviously got a quick shower. I think Trace took a quick shower. Twice. All right, 210-308-8867. Let's hear what's going on in your gardening world. 210-308-8867, the number to call to be a part of the show. Or come on by Milberger's, 1604 on Bulverde Road. Again, it's a gorgeous day to be out here. It's kind of... There's some cyclamen out there.
Oh, yeah. I just bought some.
Oh, did you buy some? Which color did you get?
I got as close to the purple as I could.
Okay, yeah, you're a big purple fan.
And the reason I was trying to... The squirrels are quite active with the acorns and pecans, and they have a tendency to break the tops of cyclamen. You know, if you got a big containers, and they jump from them to the tree, and then they dig in there. So I had 4 of them that had been the tops broken, and so I replaced those. And they're on sale, of course, but they're looking good colors, red and white, and mixed colors. And then what's our other sidekick over there?
The Primula. Primrose.
They look really good.
Yeah. And I must compliment the staff on that very note. They do a good job taking out dead flowers and leaves and making them very attractive. I think, Milton, you and I agree that we have seen other cyclamen at other places.
Oh, God.
And the Milberger's one are very, very attractive. For that very reason, they do diligence on maintenance of the flowers.
Oh, no, I mean... they're much better taken care of. When I was walking by someplace that shall remain nameless, they were just beaten down. It's like,
Well, we own ours.
okay.
And a lot of people out there don't own their plants. They collect if they sell them, but they don't collect anything if they throw them away.
Yeah, if they, I've heard your predecessor talk about that.
Yeah.
Very frustrated. What do we have that's still on sale?
Well,
I mean,
cyclamen, primrose,
Yeah.
the Christmas decorations
Mm-hmm.
are all
75%
off.
Where are they? Did you go away?
Well, they went by the front door.
I can't.
A little louder for
Oh,
Trace.
Okay.
Didn't you understand my sign language?
No,
Oh,
it's
okay.
weird. It's like Saturday Night Live.
All right. Okay. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Trace. What was that?
So we have the Christmas decor at 75 off.
Right.
I thought you were asking me where it went, but
Yeah, I'm looking for the little
so
thing.
It got moved by the front door so people would see
Oh,
it.
okay, good.
We still have poinsettias at $1.
Okay,
So
there's still
if
some
you're
in
doing-
there.
If you're doing a New Year's Eve party, you can't beat that as a decoration.
And all the Christmas trees are gone.
They are.
Yep.
So
Where's
We've
the
already-
show?
Inspect
We've
the
already
tree.
had one person come back for recycling.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Yeah.
Explain that, because we'll get started
So,
talking about that.
Please undecorate your trees.
Mm-hmm.
Don't leave ornaments or lights or a stand.
Or children.
That too. And you can bring that in. You'll go to the cashier. And I don't think we've started giving out the coupons for discounts for it. But if you want your tree gone, we'll be happy to recycle it.
Okay.
And I think next week.
That starts.
Next Friday, I think it's.
Oh, after the first of the year, maybe. Okay.
So, but we'll take it now if you want it out of your way. And on Friday, I believe we're giving you a 20% off coupon
That's what I.
towards a future purchase. I think you got to use it by like mid-February or something.
Yeah. But it's a great coupon, and doesn't even have to be your tree. Just has
No.
to be undecorated. Has to be a living.
It has to be a living tree.
Yeah.
Can't grind up an artificial.
No. And I see the Christmas cactus or the holiday cactus. Same thing?
It's the same thing.
Okay. On sale, half off?
They are.
And they still good selection?
Great selection in 4-inch and lean on 6s and 8s.
Okay. So
still lots of blooms, annual flowers for the winter, snapdragons,
those
petunias, pansies.
Pansies are on special.
Yeah,
and so
they sure are.
calendulas.
Pansies are in the 4-inch pot are 4 for $5, and the calendulas are also 4 for $5.
And that calendula
in the 4-inch
is
pot.
outstanding.
Yeah, they will take a lot of cold weather before they're affected, and they're in bloom now, and they'll begin bloom for the whole winter.
I've seen
And they're
some around our neighborhood.
Bright, happy colors, yellow and orange.
Yellow. Oh, you're talking about the calendula too.
Yeah.
You like the orange better than the
I like orange every time better. So if I had to pick a favorite color and it wasn't purple, it would be orange.
Oh, you pick purple because you're a fan of the Vikings like me, right?
No.
Oh.
Yeah.
TCU.
And the crowd got quiet. All right, 210-308-8867.
I agree with Trace. Those are similar to the colors I would always choose.
Okay.
I like orange.
Well,
Very
and
cool,
they're a color too that pollinators.
I'm trying to
like.
eyeball them. Where
Yellow,
are they?
both yellow and orange are good pollinator
table.
colors.
First table here?
From the other direction.
Oh, first table way over there.
So for you, it's the last table.
Last table.
But
Okay.
most people, when they're coming in, they would say that was the first
Yeah, it's the first table. Yeah, because it's right by the parking lot and stuff. I'll have to go eyeball them. Yeah, lots of great stuff here. Lots of great ideas. We talked a little bit about this, Trace. The New Year's coming. I don't think I got too much last week, but do you have any thoughts on maybe New Year's resolutions or trying something new? Or
I think houseplants are
okay.
a wonderful endeavor.
Mm-hmm.
So you get to enjoy them year-round in your house. Oxygenating plants are great.
I was going to talk
And
about
there's a lot of unusual things.
were you?
no, I was actually going to talk about Christmas plants, or Christmas cactus, rather.
Oh, okay.
Mother Peterson grew one that I gave her for 30 years back in
Oh,
Michigan.
my gosh, really?
Yeah, so, but she took very good care of it, very consistent care, very consistent moisture And that's a problem. A lot of people forget that. Although succulent, it requires consistent moisture.
My segue was going to be
Yes.
so Peter snuck in a houseplant order.
Okay.
And so normally we can't get anything from Christmas till after the New Year. Well, he's got something coming in like Monday or Tuesday.
Oh, wow.
We had to do that so that we would have plenty for David to talk
Yeah,
about.
I was gonna segue you there, but if only there were a seminar coming up in early January that would teach me all about how to take care of my indoor plants.
Yes.
There is?
There is.
Oh? Roll? I went full Scooby-Doo there. Yep, free seminar, House Plants for a Healthy Indoor Environment. Hosted by Bexar County AgriLife Extension Agent David Rodriguez at 10 a.m.
By then, everybody's poinsettias are going to look a little sad.
Yeah.
And you got used to having a plant there, and so why not put something that's going to go the rest of the year?
So what would you recommend as a replacement? Maybe something that's blooming?
Well, so blooming items for indoors don't last that long.
Oh.
So things like orchids or violets not going to continue to bloom well inside for long times. I would go green.
I don't agree with that. Phalaenopsis.
So 6 weeks inside.
Years and years.
But blooming consistently?
Yeah, well, it blooms for like 3 or 4 months, and then it would...
yours must be quite old. So the average one's going to be 6 weeks before it falls apart.
Yeah. Well, and then poinsettia, they do a good job of surviving. In fact, my article...
I was going to say, if you do everything Calvin says, plus there's a few other things I was going to mention, but you can keep them a long time. In South Texas.
Live and attractive. I have to admit that Trace is right. A lot of them get forgotten right after the holidays, but if you give them a lot of attention, and they'll stay attractive for at least a year.
So to answer your original question, Milton, pothos ivy and ZZ plants.
Okay.
Both require little effort.
Yay.
Nice, pretty green plants that are easy to manage inside. Even if you forget to water a ZZ plant, it's okay.
Okay.
I've heard stories of 6 months between waterings. And
Really?
I've experienced.
They're worse than I am.
I've experienced 3 months between waterings.
Okay.
Now, you talked about resolutions, and one of the resolutions in my column next week is to consider branching off or tackling a new kind of gardening. And you guys mentioned the interior plants. That's a exciting opportunity, especially if you're having a little trouble out there in the heat and everything, and you want to continue gardening, but you want to have it a little environmentally less challenging. It's a good way to start that. Go to David's presentation, and then you get access to all the plants, exciting review of plants that we have here at Milberger's, and pick a few that you like best. And there are some that can, if you treat them well, they can last for a long, long time. And then there's others that are a real challenge. So it's exactly what you're looking for in gardening, usually.
So when I was young and single, Milton, I had plants. And I worked 6 days a week, 12-hour days, but they still survived. So they got my warm beer and my cold coffee, and they were just fine and happy.
Okay. Does beer have nutrients in it?
Oh, you bet.
Oh, yeah. Oh, those carbohydrates, they make the little microorganisms go crazy.
Do
in
they?
more ways than one.
Okay.
And then the coffee has all the micronutrients. Don't look at me like that.
Well, I was picturing the one way they would go crazy, and apparently they go crazy more ways. I didn't know if they were like taking the car out. They were. Trace was at work. What were they doing?
That beer is one of the best slugging snail baits.
That's true too.
That works very well it doesn't even have to be expensive beer, and
yes, actually,
it does need to be not wasted beer. Yeah. So it has to be a beer that got warm, not a cold one right out of the fridge.
Hey, I know we were closed early on Christmas Eve and Christmas Day closed. What about New Year's Eve and New Year's Day?
Well, we just got informed yesterday
Okay.
that we are going to be open all day on New Year's Eve.
Day. Oh, New Year's Eve. Okay.
And we're closed on New Year's Day.
New Year's Day. Okay. Okay. I think that's the way a lot of people are doing it. So yeah, just checking on that. But let's see what else is going on. So you wrote about what, Calvin? Do you want to talk about your article?
Well, today I wrote about taking care of some of the plants that people were likely to have gotten for gifts for the holidays, and emphasized poinsettia and also the citrus. And when the citrus, we talked a lot about cold protection. That's the key thing on protecting them. And Trace had mentioned that the favorite plant is the lemon, Meyer lemon, and so Mexican lime. So we emphasized how to keep those alive and protect them, and got a little more. I was going to say adventurous, but a little more elaborate in terms of the freeze protection. Maybe that's what it takes to continue to have this great weather. If we're ready for freeze protection and we have an elaborate, effective process,
well,
maybe we won't get cold.
Well, what I was pointing out to Milton was they had a picture in the Express News of a half whiskey barrel.
Yeah.
And so that's always the first thing, as freezes come and go, and they are very important, but please maintain your lemon or lime throughout the year with the appropriate container. Preferably 20 gallons or more, or 20 gallon, a number 20 or more.
And what's the big one that Calvin likes, the black plastic one? How big is that?
That's about the same as the half a whiskey barrel.
I think he buys the 30s, which is actually closer to a whiskey barrel.
Oh, okay. And do we have whiskey barrels too?
No.
Okay.
Well, I do, but they're not cut.
Oh, okay.
So I have full ones.
That's always an interesting smell when the whiskey barrels are out.
Yes.
I've become, I really like the looks of plants in half whiskey barrels, both horizontal and cut. But in terms of maintaining the plant, especially like the citrus, they're much easier in those plastic containers, as long as the containers are large enough.
Less weight.
Yeah.
Easier to get the dolly under.
That's right. And if you were...
How much soil does it take?
Same, two bags.
So whiskey barrel would take 4 bags. I think 4 bags of potting soil.
Okay.
40-pound potting soil.
Yeah. All right. But
I was going to say 3, but yeah, I think Trace is right.
I think the last time we did it, it was 3.5, so I didn't want to short anybody.
But okay, cool. But my earlier point was, and we'll come back to it, was so you will be able to. Normally Wednesday you would be working, and you would miss a noon game.
I would,
but not this Wednesday.
But not this Wednesday.
Okay.
Although,
no,
Peter's on vacation, so if anything silly happens, I'm the
Speak of the devil. There's
I'm the
Peter.
first one to call.
No, dear, nothing silly, please. All right, 210-308-8867. We're going to take a break and come back in a moment. 210-308-8867. More of Milberger's Gardening South Texas coming up live from Milberger's Landscaping and Nursery, 1604 and Bulverde Road on 9:30 a.m. The Answer. And welcome back to Milberger's Gardening South Texas. We mentioned New Year's Eve. We mentioned New Year's Day. And for many people, that involves food and family getting together and celebrating the new year. And you know where is a great place to go right now before the holiday, and that is going to be Pruski's Market on Highway 87.
I was there.
Were you there?
Yes.
What'd you get?
I get 3 big packs of dried sausage and cheese and things.
Oh, good.
For gift packs.
Okay.
And then one for me.
Okay.
So,
that's a good one.
Yeah.
Did you eat the one for you?
Yeah.
How was it?
It was I ate the sausage.
Yep.
But not the beef links. I gave that to somebody else.
Okay. But that's a good
but
idea.
I ate all the cheese and sausage.
Yeah.
The pork and beef sausage was delicious.
Yep. So if you're looking to do some grilling, or you're going to get a ham, or whatever you're doing, or if your New Year's resolution is to eat better, Pruski's Market can help you with those Yanta Ranch's
they still
beef.
have prime rib, too.
Yeah, I'm sure they do.
Yeah.
Well, then I drooled. After I got all my presents, I drooled in front of the case. In the meat case.
Okay.
Looking at the prime rib and the steaks and the pork chops. All cut to your own specifications.
Yeah, that's a nice thing, too, is that, you can talk to the butcher. You can say, when you can actually choose the cuts you want. You know what? There's just two of us. How about a small one like that one there right there? And then they'll pick it out for you.
But you're talking about Mark.
Oh, that's a good point.
Yeah.
There's just the two of us.
And you, too.
We go small.
Yeah.
But anyway, the Yanta Ranch's beef is all natural. The Pruski's has great sausage made right there. Great for the grill. Head on out there today, tomorrow at Pruski's Market. You'll find them online at pruskismeatmarket.com. You won't be disappointed, I promise you. pruskismeatmarket.com. And, just go by and check them out. All right, 210-308-8867, 210-308-8867. So can you do some spoiler alerts on what I need to do to take care of my poinsettias that I got?
Well, yeah, we can.
I know it's in your article.
The key issues: avoid the cold weather. Here, this isn't Minnesota or Michigan, so just opening the door quite often is not going to. But a lot of people in those climates, they put them in the back of their car, or they just leave them. Somebody leaves the door open, and that cold weather. And almost as bad as if they're in the heat register.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so you don't want them in the heat register. You don't want them in getting a blast of sun.
Okay.
And
that's me.
What's that? Oh, wind.
And the key really is the water, I think. And so they're not xeriscape plants.
Yeah.
So they need to be watered. And, of course, a lot of gardeners have gotten used to using the ice cubes twice.
Yeah.
Because if you have it on a piece of nice furniture, where they make a wonderful display, but if you put ice in there, it usually doesn't go all the way through, especially if you've got a little saucer of some kind, or aluminum foil or something.
I was reminded.
We've equated it in the past to drip irrigation.
Yeah.
But then it's always key to once a week to take them into the sink and to soak them.
Okay, so let me ask you this. You were going to say something, Mark, and then just remind me of what I was going to ask. Do you remember what you were going to ask?
Yeah, no, I was just going to say, I was often reminded when I would advise for the ice cubes that it's consistent, and if you think 4 is enough, put 5 down.
Okay.
So always 4 ice cubes.
Right.
And then, but be consistent with that maybe daily, certainly every other day.
Okay.
But not any less than that. So if you're going to use the ice cubes, make sure you use more than what you think need to be on there. And then Calvin's advice. Once a week, maybe really soak it in the kitchen sink or something.
Yeah,
the good news is that these modern poinsettias are much less sensitive than the old ones used to be. So you can have a little bit of a wilt. Of course, you don't want much, and you don't want it all. But a little bit of wilt can be dealt with these new plants. And
so, should I pot mine up?
No.
In other words, it's not going to be root bound in the container that I bought it in.
No. Eventually.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, if you want to try to get it to grow bigger or something.
Yeah, that's all I'm trying to.
But most of the times we just worry about keeping them alive and attractive for a year.
So let me ask you this. If I were going to put it outside, which I think you're going to poo-poo the idea. Yeah, Mark's shaking his head. I'm guessing southern wall, because like I saw that at Alamo Heights Methodist Church, they had a huge one.
There you go.
But so that had to be there for at least a year or so.
Yeah. It's like I told you my story about on one of the trails, one of the Howard Peak trails, and I was like, "What is that interesting bright green plant, lime green plant?" Oh Lord, it's poinsettia. Now, it was at the wrong time of year, so it didn't have any bracts, and probably would not have because it was underneath a street lamp.
Oh yeah, you mentioned that.
So, but go on. You were going to give criteria, and I interrupted you.
Oh.
So southern face, protection against the north wind. What else?
Okay, I can do that. I can do both of those. Shady?
No artificial light.
Okay.
No shade.
Maybe I'll get one here at Millburgers for $1 and try it.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
And then maybe if you wanted to, you get a big box from UPS or something like that. A big
to protect it in the cold?
And then 6 to 8 weeks from Christmas time, you're putting the big box on top of your poinsettia.
Okay. Oh, for darkness?
Yeah.
Oh, 6 to 8. Oh, before.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a great idea. Way to go. You know your stuff. How many ice cubes per inch? Is there
well, there was a lot of back when that was developed, that formula. There's a lot of. I haven't been
laughing at the end.
No, I'm laughing because the Calvin's right. A decade ago.
No, okay.
That was all the rage, and there was actually formulas for that.
Oh, for the
and I don't know
the ice cubes.
I
don't remember.
I haven't even found it necessary to. Mark talked about every day. But I've found it works twice a week.
Yeah.
As long as you do that weekly soaking.
So that's why I said I think I made a mistake one time, and so I was every twice a week or 3 times a week, and I probably should have added more ice cubes and more frequent.
Okay, and
or I could have done the bath once a week.
Dipping it. Now, if I'm ordering it outside, I don't care.
Yeah.
Do I? Do I do the bath outside or?
No. If you can water it,
okay.
Even if you can water it, if it's in a container and you've got a big enough saucer there, or you can move it to the sink, you could do that twice a week. And just soak it, and then that should take care of it. Now, it depends on the size of the container, too, and the size of the plant. Some of these plants have a lot of foliage in a limited root reservoir, so that'll make a difference. But if you got so that idea you had of putting in a bigger container, that would work to make it easier in terms of the water. But
maybe I'll as we experiment, do a test on one, pot one up.
Yeah, I somehow, Mark, I don't see Milton as
you will have to write this up.
Okay, sure.
You will have to write this up.
Have to write up my experiment.
Yes, and it will be peer reviewed by Calvin and I.
Do I need pictures of the?
Yeah, probably, or at least measurements.
I can probably get my. Cleaning lady to give you a little training. She managed to keep mine alive for a year plus, and her attention was once a week.
Okay.
And I could tell, I could hear her sighing if it got a little drier than she liked it, but she managed to retrieve it, and it helped that it was a modern poinsettia.
Well, I enjoy a challenge. So, what other plants did you cover? You covered citrus and poinsettias.
Those two were the big ones.
Did you cover Christmas cactus, or did Mama Peterson?
I did last
Oh, we're gonna
year,
wait
and then
till she
Mark's got some articles that have covered it.
Yeah, my shameless plug for one of my previous articles.
Okay.
GardenStyleEssay.com. Just go in the articles and put in the search engine and said caring for Christmas plants.
And you can maybe find mine. If
so
it's recent with the Express News, or if you can find Plant Answers and where that's gone, you can.
Okay.
I did frequently use Calvin as a guest author on the Garden Style site. So if you go in there and you scroll on the mini articles on that, and you just see guest author, 8 times out of 10 it was probably Calvin.
Okay.
So
very cool.
Lots of places for us to go and look at, but a lot of it is the same ideas. Is sunny, protect from inclement wind, if you will, hot blowing wind, keep moisture, but not too much. And then a lot of these with the colors of the season, you have to backtrack 6 to 8 weeks out from Christmas and start diminishing the light.
Now you're going to have a little discussion with your dog. And you still have your dog, don't you?
Yeah. So I didn't hear. I didn't.
Oh,
I couldn't understand.
I was just thinking about your stories about your cats. Rubbing in your plants and squashing them and everything. You'll have to. The dog will have
maybe
to
the dog
take
can control
responsibility for doing that.
That would be nice, but no, the cats rule the roost.
Uh-oh.
Yep. It's funny. She tries so hard. That herding instinct comes out. A cat got in the house that wasn't supposed to, and we thought, this is going to be ugly. Nope. She just hovered over the cat and kept kind of pushing it toward the door. The cat was like, would run over here. She would run over there. She loves doing it. But
have we discussed what breed you're?
Border Collie.
Oh, well, yeah, definitely then.
She's herd. It's like herding cats, but she enjoys it. She's literally herding cats. But, yeah, and the other cat that we have, it's an inside cat. So I'm sharing all the cat stories. No one cares about this, but loves teasing the dog. She will kind of play with the dog, then run. And B just chases her. B loves every minute of it.
That's cool.
Anyway, sorry. 210-308-8867. 210-308-8867. Maybe I'll get a Christmas cactus, too. They're on sale.
So I think you'd enjoy it.
Okay.
I like the colors. I like the shape. So, my mother got a small 4.5-inch one or container at my first Christmas here in San Antonio.
Mm-hmm.
And then I went back a few years ago, and she goes, now what do I do with this? It was huge. It was like taking over the entire kitchen.
Oh, my gosh, really?
It was just huge. So she took very good care of it.
Did she?
But it kept growing.
Did it
kept
bloom?
growing? It kept growing.
Did it color?
Yeah. Color up the ends. And
despite what Trace said, there's a bunch of those. Phalaenopsis will do that too. If it's in the right conditions, it'll grow. And then the other.
I wasn't about to override him.
Yeah.
And then our cyclamen was just as bad. In fact, my wife, when she was, she kind of got to the point where she was so frustrated, kind of the same way. What do I do with it now?
Oh, really?
Yeah, but we'll have to move out. We'll have to add to another bedroom to the house or something so we can grow these things. But there's a lot of exciting plants that are available.
To put a fine tip on this conversation is these Christmas plants of varying types are very fun to grow for a long time. See how long you can grow them. Maybe until the next year. That's kind of the fun aspect of it. Once the holiday season ends, what do we do? By the way, we can keep them growing.
Yeah,
and keep some color on them. Orchid.
Okay. Oh, we'll have to. We'll take a break and come back, and we'll talk about if I got a live Christmas tree, a living Christmas tree, and what to do with it now.
What to do with it now, yes.
All right, 210-308-8867, 210-308-8867. More of Milberger's Gardening South Texas coming up live from Milberger's Landscaping and Nursery, 1604 and Boulevardy Road on 9:30 a.m. The Answer. And welcome back to Milberger's Gardening South Texas on 9:30 a.m. The Answer. Our phone number is 210-308-8867, and we want to hear what you are doing in the garden today. Give us some tips and tricks, things that you're doing. Do we want any reports? Or pretty much, I think my tomatoes are done.
Oh,
have you pulled yours up?
I'm debating whether to bring if I should bring a tray of tomatoes tomorrow.
Oh, cool. The little ones?
Little ones and big ones.
Ooh, yum. Okay.
I may bring those in,
Well, they'll find a home.
Oh, yeah, I hope so.
If Trace brings his dog.
Oh, yeah.
All right, 210.
They don't look as pretty as they did last time, but they are
okay. No, that'll be good.
Yeah. Okay, I'll try to remember.
What else? Yeah, mine, I kept going. It was one of those things, do as I say, not as I do, or something, or whatever it is. I never did move it to a sunnier spot, and so got lots of green tomatoes that are probably a little less than tennis ball size, but no red.
You might want to try some of those, like did you guys used to cook summer squash?
Oh.
The green tomatoes?
Yeah. Oh, no. That would... Okay, so squash and tomatoes?
Yeah, or just green tomatoes.
Treated
like a squash.
If I'm going to use, and maybe if we don't know, a listener will call up. If I'm going to use green tomatoes for a recipe, like make fried green tomatoes, but make them without frying them, like in an air fryer, how ripe do they have to be? I mean, can they just be if they're green, they go?
Yeah, if they don't have any, I like them better when they're completely green and there's no.
Oh, okay.
No, they haven't started to ripen, but they work. They work.
Yeah, I think it just to. I don't know how to describe it. Just a tad ripe on the inside.
Okay, I might try some. Maybe if I do it, I'll bring some tomorrow.
Yeah, they're good.
I'm kind of following all these keto recipes where you make things like with Parmesan cheese and you put them in the air fryer and kind of bake them. So maybe I'll try that.
I did. I had a cabbage and I cut it up and boiled it, and I thought I put enough onion and hot sauce and what else I put in there, but gosh, it was
still cabbage.
I did not boil it enough. And
it was
bland.
Still cabbage.
No.
Yeah, and I realized how important some bacon or something in there was. How much better that would taste if I had some bacon and cooked it. It's very nutritious and everything when it's like this, but it's kind of a bland food. So with a little that's spice and bacon, it may taste
bacon is the salve to 1,000 wounds or hunger pains.
Who said that?
Me.
Oh, just now. Okay. And Calvin,
I wonder who made this coffee. It's pretty good.
Oh, is it?
I was a little worried. No, I did not do it. But I was a little worried when I was pouring it out. It looked not up to you and I standards. And I was a little worried. So, it tastes better than it looked a little light. But we do thank anybody at the staff here at Milberger's for making us, Calvin and I, a pot of coffee.
Yep.
Pretty good.
Did that make you lose your train of thought?
Yeah, I did a little bit. She got a poinsettia. Good for her.
We before the break, we were going to talk about living Christmas
trees.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the living Christmas trees we had here and now what to do with them. Well, don't take a sip of coffee yet.
Well, I'm mulling over. And
okay.
Besides, here's Trace. He can always answer the question.
Okay, Trace can answer it.
All I heard was bacon. So
so you said, I'm coming over.
I did that for you, just for you.
Oh, just to make so you didn't have to answer the question. We were talking about poinsettias and care and Christmas cactus and care and all that. And then I thought, okay, we've got the living Christmas trees that people bought.
Mm-hmm.
What do they do with them now?
Plant them.
Well, which one? Like, are there anything special you should do for? Let's pick one. What did we have?
Well, they should have, if they followed our discussions the last few weeks, they should know where they were going to plant them and have the holes dug. And actually, they should probably be in the ground.
Okay, Mark's pointing his finger.
No, I'm saying so. Decide where you're going to plant them.
Okay.
Then dig the hole before you purchase them.
But call 811.
Call 811. Okay, that's another finger I didn't use.
Okay, it's okay.
And then go get to the appropriate one and plant it. Now, I like to add wide hole. Wider is better.
Okay.
Always wider hole.
I like to add well-drained.
Yeah.
So you have a tip to do that, I know.
Fill it up with water. Make sure it goes away.
Okay, so how long do you want it to, if it never goes away, obviously it's not well-drained.
Yep.
If it takes a day to go away, is it well-drained?
That's a little long.
Okay, if it takes...
a couple hours, probably all right.
Okay, a couple hours. Okay.
So do it in the morning. By noon, it should be done.
Yeah.
And vice versa.
And most of our soils will be quicker than that.
I see we still have some of the living Christmas trees, even shaped.
Yep.
Which ones are those out there? Is that the rosemary?
There's a few rosemary, then Cedar Deodora, and Leland cypress, Arizona cypress.
Yeah, Arizona cypress.
So there's no special care for any of those? Like, what about rosemary? Drained, well drained?
Full sun and well drained.
Okay.
And they'll be all right.
Okay.
If they want to keep that shape, though, that's a little tricky. So they got to trim on it regularly or use it regularly.
Well, the good news is that the regular shape of rosemary is attractive, too. I mean, it's kind of neat when they do that shaping, but it's also neat, and it's blooming. Has it started to bloom at all?
No.
Okay.
In the next month.
So that's a great plant. Yeah, enough. Got one rosemary plant's enough for a whole neighborhood.
Oh, is that right?
Depending on what you eat rosemary. It's pretty potent.
Where do we have... okay, so just find where you're going to plant them. You want it to be so far from the house, right?
Correct.
How far?
It depends on which one.
Yeah.
Some get bigger than others.
Okay.
So the larger maturity, the farther away you plant from the house.
Okay.
So, rule of thumb.
Is there a rule of thumb I was going to ask?
Yes, there's always a rule of thumb.
Mark's rules of thumb.
You know me better than that. Yes. So, rule of thumb.
He has 2 thumbs, though.
Yeah.
No. And like 27 rules.
Small trees, 10 feet, minimum 10 feet from the house.
Okay.
Our standard shade tree for our area, 15 to 17 feet from the house. And then a large spreading tree like a live oak, we want a little bit further from the tree, from the house. So the ones that we mentioned, we're pretty much in that medium to small range. So,
good. Okay.
So 10 feet from the house, minimum. I would go a little bit more. I would go the 15 feet.
10 to 15? Okay.
Yeah. Of course, not the...
Or more.
Not the rosemary.
What's that?
Or more.
Or more. Oh, okay.
That's minimum.
How tall will rosemary get?
Everybody's different, but
60 feet.
Really?
Four.
It's like this Montezuma cypress.
3 to 4 would be normal for an upright. A trailing doesn't get very tall.
Okay. Well, yeah, that makes sense.
And what did we learn in 2021?
They don't like 6 degrees.
The prostrate didn't like didn't like cold temperatures
what
at
about
all.
The upright?
At all.
It had issues, but I think a lot of them survived it.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's easy to protect, too. Quite often we plant it in containers.
Are you throwing stuff again, Milton?
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. 210. Okay, I can do this. 210-308-8867. Did you do a training today?
We were just talking about getting ready for what's coming, because every customer is going to ask right now, when is this coming? When is that coming? So we spent about 20 minutes on when stuff was coming.
Okay.
How did the pursuit of gift certificates go? Was there a ton of them?
Oh, we always sold a ton of them. Not so many of the e-cards, but
but that's new this year.
But that's new.
What were you going to say?
I bet you one of the questions when it's going to come is grass, turf. Was that one of them?
Well, so we get grass all the time, weather permitting.
Okay.
So a little unfair. Although we were looking back at our records for last year, in the month of January, we were only bringing 1 truckload a week.
Okay.
But we have an experiment we're going to do this go around where we can get 5 or 6 pallets at a throw instead of 18. So we might be able to do a better job.
Okay. That'd be interesting. And so when we can do grass all year.
Bermudas and zoysias, it could be 0 or 120 as long as it's prepped right and taken care of properly, no problem.
And rolled.
And all that's important.
Yeah.
St. Augustine, as long as it's not going to freeze within a couple of weeks of you putting it out, I think it's okay.
Okay. Well,
it's funny. In the old days, we were very conservative about St. Augustine grass. Now we're just, maybe, but it's unusual for the freeze.
I think more people have lost their yards from neglect in the summertime than from cold.
Oh, yeah, I think you're right.
well, you may be right.
Absolutely.
And it's going to be a pretty week. Really, it's going to be a lovely week.
Next 10 days look pretty good.
Yeah. Oh, you got 10 days out?
Yep.
70s and...
Pretty much, yeah.
Occasionally we dip down to 39.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I saw 41.
Okay.
But it quickly rebounds.
Yeah, well, be careful. Remember, was it last year we had freeze in February, or was it last 2 years? Or
Yeah, so
We had some late.
21 was February, and then we had 22. We had one late, I think. I can't remember that far. 23, we had one as well.
Yeah, they kind of sneak up on you just when you get comfortable.
Unfortunately, we now know how to 100% protect. It's very labor intensive. But after the big one, we had a 3-week supply of merchandise where a lot of growers had lost all their merchandise. So.
Okay. So,
Gosh, and
we always talk about it, but it's a good time now while things are a little slow maybe in the gardening world to get that protection.
It is.
Be prepared.
Yeah.
And it's amazing how you brought that up about how we just think in terms of the retail and our gardens, but the wholesale industry did.
Oh, yeah.
They
got hit really hard.
Yeah.
In fact, that was the problem for many years, is the wholesale industry was hit severely and could not supply the retail industry with the products that the public demanded. And it was very serious.
Yeah, we were bringing a lot more out of Louisiana and California than normal.
Yeah, you were working your butt off to get stuff in that you knew people wanted. I know that. Can I say that on the air?
It was interesting. Well, you did. So,
did? Okay. Yeah. Al,
I guess so.
I hope Al's okay. But yeah, I know you were okay. We tried and tried and tried, and everybody's asking about this, and we finally found some and got it in. So just a pat on the back to you.
I always thought it was interesting. We could get the loads in on racks, park the racks in the back, and we would only have to unload half of it because the customers would just buy it off the racks.
I remember that.
We had the blue plumbago. Remember that? I mean, people were just taking it off the thing. You put it down, it would go away. There's some blue plumbago out there.
Well, hopefully, I was telling Mark and
Milton.
No,
what's
that other
his
one.
name? Milton.
Milton, yes.
I haven't known him that long. I was telling him about we've tentatively scheduled the potting tomato classes again. And
so make sure you tell Cappy so we can get it on our schedule for the ones that are here and the ones that are elsewhere and where the elsewhere is. That way they don't show up here by accident.
Oh, yeah. Did that happen?
We've had that happen.
We've got them tentatively scheduled in February, March, and April, include the milkweed and the butterfly in March and April. But
unlike normal, I don't know what the rodeo tomato is this year.
Oh, wow.
So nobody's asked me for numbers or anything. So hopefully we.
When do you normally find out?
When David lets the secret out.
Okay.
To a select few.
Okay.
Remember I told you, when do we find out? It's 12 o'clock Wednesday night.
Before Thursday the rodeo starts, yeah. But you got to kind of know, don't you?
I gotta
sure be nice
know
if we
enough
did.
to at least somebody's got them so I can book them.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's much easier if Trace and I don't have to holler at each other about. I blame him for not having them, and he blames me for not having an access to them.
All right, we're going to take a break. While we do, you give us a call, 210-308-8867, 210-308-8867. We're coming up on The Answer.
We're back with Milberger's Gardening, South Texas, live from Milberger's Landscaping and Nursery at 1604 in Bulverde Road. Come out to visit or call us at 210-308-8867. That's 210-308-8867. And now back to Milberger's Gardening, South Texas on 930 AM, The Answer.
And welcome back to Milberger's Gardening, South Texas on 930 AM, The Answer, 210-308-8867. Al says it may be raining over by Canyon Lake towards Seguin, and then so if it is, call us and tell us. And I look at the map and I can see that Greg, our listener up there in North Texas, is probably getting some rain too. But Greg, send us some rain.
I can't see a cloud in the sky.
Yeah, I don't know where he saw this cloud build up, but
so we are not looking east.
No, we're looking west.
We're looking
southwest.
West. And
no,
north,
northwest.
And
yeah.
I can't see any.
Okay.
Anyway.
All right. 210-308-8867. That's 210-308-8867. What do we want to make sure people know, folks? You had some, you said Neil Sperry chimed in on.
Well, it was interesting that Calvin was talking about Christmas plants. Neil had a writer ask about a Christmas cactus, and they were not. It was obvious from the letter they were not watering enough, and they had it outside. And Neil says, a college professor once told me that to know how to take care of plants, you must first understand how they grow in their native homes. So, Christmas cactus, tropical rainforests along the Atlantic, or along Brazil and Argentina.
Yeah, you'd probably want to forget about that cactus.
Yeah, the cactus part on that.
Subtropical.
It is a succulent by definition, by leaf and propagation definition. It is not succulent in the way of cactus. It must be kept moist. He actually says, that area receives an upward of 100 to 200 inches of rain annually. Milton, how many inches of rain historically do we get?
32.
32.
Oh.
How many inches of rain have we got in the last 5 years on average? 22.
Okay.
23, más o menos. So I thought it was interesting that Calvin had an article talking about Christmas plants, the care of Christmas plants, and then also Neil had one in there. And it's apropos because a lot of people think they know how to take care of their plant, but they don't realize where that plant comes from. So we've had, on occasion, South African plants, people. I'm trying to remember that. It's actually a droughty plant, and they think it needs a lot more moisture.
Cape honeysuckle.
Cape honeysuckle. That's one of the ones. But this particular plant, this Christmas
what a dilemma
cactus,
that is. Cape honeysuckle. It finally starts blooming, and when we get to the winter here, and then then the cold weather takes it out. But before that happens, although it didn't fare very well in those record freezes we had, but it was a
but in general,
favorite
in general,
nectar plant.
That's we always think of 12 months out of color, and that's always one that kind of slips in there as one. Oh yeah, what about Cape Honeysuckle? Yeah. So one time, but anyway, that was one I was reading this morning, and
What's this back here, Mark?
which one? When I went and looked at the label, so I knew which one it was. That one, right there. So it is Gaillardia, a very common Texas wildflower, but they had it in pots, and so I wanted to check that out and make sure. That's the Indian blanket.
Oh.
Or fire wheel.
Well, that's a fancy one.
Yes,
That's fancier than ours.
Yeah,
now.
so it is. It looks to have been bred to be shorter. The flower is larger, and the colors are more distinct. Yeah,
Very
that happens
attractive.
a lot of time.
Butterflies like it.
Yes, it's a very popular nectar plant. But I thought that was interesting, so I wanted to make sure when I was getting the coffee. And I went, oh, look, it is Gaillardia. And then we have some coneflower on the other side of that, which is another native.
Oh, I see it.
That has been improved upon, quote, improved upon. Bigger, shorter, usually more refined, shorter plants. I don't know, Calvin. You have a word for that when it's a little bit restrained growth. I don't know. You always have a great word for that, whether it's restrained or shorter, or the native one is long, etiolated, elongated, and then they breed that down, and it's more restrained, more formal growth on that. So that's what it looks like on those.
Yep.
Anyway.
Good looking stuff. 210 308 8867. 210 308. Yes, sir. What you pointing at?
No, he's the gentleman is buying a wave.
Yeah, the wave petunias are still gorgeous. Did you do a report on what we have in? You mentioned cauliflower.
Well,
broccoli,
it's always people from other parts of the country are always amazed that we could still grow stuff in the garden, vegetable wise, and generally it's the broccoli, cauliflower, the root crops like turnips, carrots, and radishes. Are most popular.
Spinach.
And then the leafy crops, spinach, Swiss chard. We have a lot of lovely Swiss chard out there.
Yeah, that's nice plants.
But spinach, collards, greens. I was driving around one place in San Antonio, and I saw they were selling a whole bunch of mustard greens, collard greens, all different kinds of greens. But yeah, and then we have a whole array of winter herbs. We have dill and parsley and sage and rosemary and some thyme.
Okay.
It's all true.
When do the mints come out?
So they should be coming in now.
Oh, should they? Okay.
Yes. So mint is a cool weather herb. Now we have gotten them here in a little earlier and a little later than what I think is tracing out the same than I think is appropriate. But it is a cool weather herb, and we've had like 4 or 5 different varieties here.
Yeah.
One thing for people, they think they should plant it in the winter. It's a cool, but they don't realize that in the following years, if the site is adaptable for the mint, that the mint will spread and spread and spread and spread and spread.
Yeah. So is mint a ground cover?
It can be.
Yeah.
It can be a lovely one.
A neighborhood cover, it can be.
Yeah.
Well, I was going to get some, but now you're scaring me.
No. Go ahead. Do
put it in a container.
Yeah. So think about this. That you could, a lot of places use a thyme and oregano mix for a ground cover for the driveway as a green cover. They have it, little concrete containers, and they filled in the herb in between. So you could have that, and then you could walk off the driveway into a field of mint.
Oh.
So you could be, oregano and thyme, and then go into a mint in the shady area. You could have a whole yard full of herbs.
Okay.
And you wouldn't have to worry about grass ever again.
Well, I wonder, we do have the area that I was going to do the perennial rye in. I wonder if I could do mint in that. And how much mint would I do to cover, say, 5 by 5?
1.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, how long do you have?
Yeah. So the only thing I hesitated on, this is a longer-term project. It's not immediate. It's not within a month. You're not going to see an effect.
Okay.
So it is going to be I might do 5. One in each corner and one in the middle.
Oh, I like that idea.
Yeah.
Kind of these, a little, okay. What is that? Kind of a star
but it will
configuration?
fill in if the space is appropriate.
Okay.
So the best places for mint are under large deciduous trees. So they get the sun in the winter and then shade in the summer.
And it's not necessary to have them in raised beds.
No.
But it's.
Am I going to
makes
regret
a
this?
It's a good control mechanism to
Yeah.
have them in containers.
Okay. I mean, I don't want to have one season that's like, oh, this is great, and then have the next season, oh, what have I done?
So,
that's
that's
the
what-
case.
but
Okay.
you were going to do rye
Yeah.
in that same area. It would be green for the same amount of time that the rye would have been,
Okay.
more or less. It may extend a little bit further into the summer growing season.
Okay.
So I think that's a great alternative,
Okay.
and it's aromatic.
Yeah. And when you mow it, woo,
Yeah.
I have mowed.
Or put the cats out in it, do it, and watch them.
Oh, I wonder if the cats will do the. Oh,
They may roll around in it, or they may just go.
Hattie, did you have a question? What's good? How you doing? Did you have a question? Can we ask it on the air? Grab the mic.
Yeah,
It'll be on
just
the air.
grab
These
the
guys-
mic.
You'll do great.
You won't even listen to yourself.
You'll do great. Yes, sir. What you got? What's going on? Let's talk right in the mic so we can hear you. What's
Hello,
going on?
guys?
Hi.
Hi.
So I live in a garden home. I have an access door on the side. You walk around, and there's a sidewalk. And I had ground cover in there, but I neglected it. I pulled it out. I spaded out the ground cover. Took me a while to really clean it up and get all the weeds. But now I've got a good clean strip leading up through the walkway next to the house. And what I'm looking to do is I'd like to put a small hedge in there, and I'm really wanting to get something like a Japanese box that's kind of easily manipulated. See what I mean?
Okay.
And my question is this a good time to really be doing a Japanese box? Because it's onset of cold season, and my concern is that I'm going to spend $200 on 6 plants, and then only to find that in a month's time they're not taking.
How much sun is it?
And what were you calling it? Japanese
boxwood.
Oh, Japanese boxwood. Okay, I got you.
Japanese box is a
Gotcha.
very common
Yeah,
shrub.
very, very,
Yeah.
very, very common.
You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
these are
I never recommend it
okay.
because it's so unpredictable.
How so?
Well,
Size-wise or growth?
if you go in my neighborhood,
Yes, sir.
and there's quite a few planted, but they got hedges, and there'll be dead areas, and there'll be areas that are slow growing and fast growing. And you can never seem to figure out why it's growing one place and why it's not growing other
That's
places.
absolutely true with Japanese box.
Now,
What's your name?
Calvin Finch.
Yeah, David Yelma. How do you do?
Of course, you got lots of choices.
Yeah.
You got all those. Oh gosh, mixed.
Holly.
Yeah,
So
you got the holly. So you got the.
So Calvin asked a great question: does it have full sun? The next one I would ask is, how high did you want it?
Oh, good question.
Right. Well, it's full sun for 6 hours.
That's good.
Is that enough? Oh, good. Okay.
Gives you options.
So if I were to invest in some 5-gallon Japanese box, which I said only because I'm throwing my hands up, just giving up, and I'm just buying into contemporary. That's what I'm doing. Is now a good time to buy and plant before I've got a real good cold snap.
If I wasn't planting boxwood, I would say go ahead. Yeah, if it's one of the other plants, it's failing me, my old age here, on what is the one that has all the different sizes of.
Like
It's Nandina.
Nandina.
So that was going to be another option. To answer your big question, yeah, it falls for planting. Don't worry about freezes or anything like that. A lot of these plants that we use, boxwood included, unless it's a 2021 freeze, yeah, they'll tolerate most freezes in our area.
So I appreciate the Nandina aspect.
Yeah.
My experience with Nandina's going to really take off and difficult to control. Also, it seems to want to, unless you're buying a dwarf.
There you go.
Or a variety,
Yeah.
You're looking at a 5-foot stalk, right?
Right,
there.
and so
But
so Calvin mentioned there's lots of different heights right now. So the old one was Harbor Dwarf, and that was like 6 inches, 12 inches, and then the standard, and then there was a Nana. And I can't remember what size that was.
Those are 2 to 3, I think. I know Nandina's only because.
So if you're going to do it
Absolutely.
again, the height, how high you wanted it, you would want one that's maxing out at 3 feet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right now, I have the Flirt.
Okay. I just read
which
about
is
it this morning.
almost ground cover. I mean, they're really limited in their height. And I have the lemon lime Nandinas at the house right now.
Yeah, and I'm not. That's not one of my faves.
No, but it's kind of a semi-dwarf. It'll stay at 2 to 3 feet without having to crop it or anything. Which I do like the Nandinas, but I just seem to have a lot of Nandina this summer.
So my third choice, and what I had asked about, how high and how much, would be not what you would consider a normal. Yeah, I had 2 choices.
Okay.
Normal plant. Calvin and I are big in the hollies. We like Carissa and Dwarf Burford. But here's something, a autumn sage, a Salvia greggii. That would be totally different what we've been talking about. We've been talking about mostly evergreen stuff. So that would be, it's going to get about 3 feet at maturity. And you would prune it every other year, every third year, low to the ground, and then let it grow up to keep a compact shape.
Yeah,
And then you have choices of color.
yeah, actually, very nice blooms.
Yeah.
Similar to a purple sage.
Yeah, in that, but it's going to be smaller, and you have a choice of raspberry, red, pink, white, rather than just limited to sage.
And they're disciplined.
Good choice. I never thought of that.
Yeah. So, but also, what another choice for you would have been, and we still have some. We have to ask Trace, but we have the microburst.
Oh, yeah.
Which is a 30-inch. That's the maximum it's going to get. It's 30 inches, and it's a dwarf Cenizo.
Really?
And it's dwarf everything. The flowers, I think so. Or Trace always chides me, on the leaves and the flowers on that. But the main thing is, it is a dwarf Cenizo 30 inches tall.
Really?
Yeah. It's called Micro Burst.
I heard that.
Yeah.
Does it bloom similar to like floral, like lantana, or what is the blooms?
No, it could be just like a Cenizo, like a standard
Okay.
Cenizo.
It's an evergreen, right? Yeah.
Yeah. So that would be something in that strip that would be evergreen, albeit silver gray, and a flower.
Mm-hmm.
So we got
Yeah.
multiple choices in there. Other than boxwood, which is fine. Your main question is, can I plant now? Absolutely.
Yeah.
Here are some other choices that Calvin and I like. We like one called Carissa. We like Chinese holly. And we like a dwarf
the
Burford.
Chinese holly,
Yeah.
yes.
So
Yeah.
these are all variations on Chinese holly.
Yes, it's a good idea.
So with the 6 hours of sunlight and then we have shade, that's perfect for our holly.
Okay.
Some sun, some shade.
And for Nandinas and and your Mark's
Autumn sage, Salvia
sage.
gregae.
yeah, they'd all work in the 6
Yeah.
hours.
Oh, that's
So
great ideas.
So you have some time,
I
So
do.
you got the next 3 weeks to decide on that one.
All righty.
Thanks for your help, everyone.
Cool, man. Thank you.
appreciate
You take
it.
care.
Nice to see you out here.
Good
yeah.
luck.
Okay.
All right. We're going to take a quick break. 210-308-8867, 210-308-8867, or like this nice gentleman, come by and ask your questions in person. We'll be back in a moment with more of Milberger's Gardening South Texas on 9:30 a.m. The Answer. And welcome back to Milberger's Gardening South Texas on 9:30 a.m. The Answer, 210-308-8867. That's a number to call.
Careful there.
I know, I got all choked up. To ask your questions or come on out here to Milberger's and ask your questions in person. Hey, how are your little monarch caterpillars doing?
They are
Are they gone?
gone.
Okay.
Now, where they are,
Yeah.
if their chrysalises are there, or if they got taken by some predator or something, I don't know, because I haven't found any evidence after I found the 3 hatchlings. And the 3 were different sizes too, so it was interesting. But there are, Mary did verify that there are monarchs flying here at the Certified Butterfly Garden, and I saw yesterday saw a monarch in my yard.
Mm-hmm.
So they're still out there.
We need a little report from Lulu.
Yeah, we haven't heard from her. How
We need a
she's.
monarch report.
It'd be interesting too to hear actually how she structures the training that she does, or what her goals are in terms of the caterpillars and the hatching. That's a pretty fascinating story.
Okay, Mark, what else is going on in the gardening world that has been brought to your attention? Things that are happening.
Mostly a lot of the things we talked about last week.
Okay.
That is, it's tree planting time.
Mm-hmm.
And we just got done, or I helped a CPS Energy with the development of a poster, recommended species down in the Laredo area and down in Corpus Christi. So if many of you have seen the poster with the recommended trees for the San Antonio area, CPS with a couple of arborists assistants, we created one for that area.
Okay.
But just a note on that it is the green shade rebate time of year, and that lasts from October 1st to the end of April, funds permitting. And that is a $50 credit for they changed the size. Minimum size used to be 5, number 5. Now it's number 3, I believe.
That's
or
good.
There was talk about that.
Well, I hope so. Because that's
in limit or cleaning out my phone for the year. I saw one of the local nurserymen were asking me about that, and I said, go right ahead. I don't know, that's where the industry is moving towards from number 3s to from number 5 to number 3. Particularly for certain species, crepe myrtles, the citrus.
Well,
can't remember everything else.
almost everything.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
So they were that was gonna be the minimum size. I haven't heard anything from it, but I'm sure that my crack IT team will be looking it up and telling me all about it.
Better get moving.
Right?
I know. All right.
Anyway, so yes, 5 per lifetime of the residents. Go out and look at the permitted list. It has changed over the years, and like I said, maybe some size limits as well.
So what if I bought a new house that had already had 3?
You've already asked me this question.
Yes.
So you have at that new house, and if it has had 3 and it's in their computer, then you are eligible for another 2.
Is there a way that I can find that out?
Yeah, you can send in a request to CPS Energy, and then they'll have that available, that information available.
Well, consistent.
Not that I'm buying a new house, Milton, but
Yeah.
not that I'm buying a new house.
No. Please don't start that rumor.
But part of it, consistent with the availability of the program, we're starting to get a series of deliveries here at Milberger's. We got a pretty good supply now, but the big time is coming, right?
Oh yeah, we got stuff coming in starting the 2nd.
Oh, wow. That Friday.
Yeah.
No, that Thursday. Yeah.
What would that? What would that be?
Well, we're expecting a hardline truck, so chemicals and fertilizers, one Thursday, one Friday, one Monday, until they've fulfilled the order. We have shade trees and containers going to start showing up on the 2nd. So 15s, 30s, and 45s, probably 2 or 3 trucks a week. The woody evergreen shrubs, most of the growing operations are closed this week, but they'll start shipping Thursday if I can get them the order fast enough. If not, they'll start showing up the next Tuesday or Wednesday. Fruit trees, right around the corner.
Yep.
So towards the end of January. Antique roses towards the end of January.
So we talk about, that's cool. Yeah, because we generally have them for Valentine's, right?
Correct.
So should people, like we talk about the wish list, would this be a good time? Okay, we know they're coming in eventually. We just don't know when the one I want is. So could they call that wish list and put it on there and get a call back?
They could do that anytime.
Okay. So tell them what the wish list is, and I'll tell them the number if you like.
So it's just what it's described as. It's a wish list. Doesn't mean we can get it, but we will make the effort to try. So first it's got to be available. Then we have to be able to fill the truck from whoever that's coming. So some things will never happen.
Yeah.
Some things happen very quickly. Some things it takes a while.
And you just call 210-497-3760, or I talk about millburgernursery.com at phone numbers at millburgernursery.com. And I did that for tomatoes because we weren't sure when they were coming in. And sure enough, they came in on a Wednesday or something, and I got a call saying, here's what we have. And I asked for the price, and they gave me the prices, and it was great.
And so you came in and picked up your your plant?
I think I got 3.
Oh,
yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Nayeli does a really good job on that. She's a good 90% sell-through. And she'll hold stuff. If she calls you and you answer, you can say, hold me 5. And she'll pull it, put your name on them.
Yeah, it's a great thing. And I know we've had listeners that call in and do that. So It's good.
Our entire first batch of onions almost went out that way.
Oh, is that right? Huh.
Called them all, and within a couple of days,
They come and got them?
Yep.
What is our onion situation?
Lean, but we still have some. 1015Y, Texas Legend. I saw at least one variety of red out there still, and I believe one white.
That's cool.
Very cool. All right, so...
we had people from South Carolina come buy onions this past week.
really?
Yeah.
And buy onions?
What?
And buy onions?
Yes.
Wow.
Huh.
They were ordering direct from Dixondale, but the freight's astronomical.
Okay.
So they were coming down to visit,
Oh.
and so they bought 7 or 8 bundles to take back with them. Of course,
Good.
their luggage is going to have a peculiar odor when they unpack. But
Yeah, it just might.
Well, not if they stick to the 1015 Ys. But it's hard to resist having a
She bought
variety.
I know. See, that's always the thing is I like to have a variety.
Okay, so what were you asking me about the size of the planter for the CPS rebate?
will they take a 3-gallon?
Number 1, must be a CPS Energy customer to receive rebate in the form of a credit. Number 2, must purchase eligible trees, as listed at CPS, during October 1st, 2024 through April 30th, 2025. Trees must be at least a size number 3 container or larger from the approved species list.
That's great. Now,
Good.
Because there was a lot of requests from both the wholesalers, but primarily retailers. Could you go down from a 5 to a 3? And particularly certain species. Now, I was first made aware of this as a request for some of our coupons, SAWS coupons.
Yep.
They wanted
I'm the one who did that.
No, okay.
He's
I wasn't
not-
going to name names.
He's not throwing the name out there, but it was me.
It was not only you; it was also Fanix. Both of you had the same request. So when the CPS Energy were mulling this over in September, I said, "Yes, go ahead." Now I don't have anything to, I'm not an employee of CPS Energy, so I said, "I don't know what I could offer other than the gravitas of Mark Peterson," and I just told them that.
And they did it anyway.
And no, they did it because I said to do it. So
It's hard to believe.
Right?
Okay.
So I still have some. What do you want to say? Some
Pull.
with CPS Energy.
Okay. So now we know. Number 3, and by the way,
Yes.
I'm at CPS Energy. What am I at?
You're at Green Shade Rebate.
Yeah. At cpsenergy.com.
Yeah, or
/ content / oh my goodness.
Yeah,
/ DAM / corporate. Yeah, just go to
all right.
CPS.
Yes. On the other hand, their website could use some updating.
Oh, okay.
Just saying.
Think you're losing your pull here.
Yeah, I know.
Wait, Peterson said what? Okay, he's off the list.
Well, you have to know that I did. I was a partnership or on the team for the SAWS makeover. So 1 click or maximum 3 clicks. No more than 3 clicks.
What's that mean?
Means that if you go to a website and you want to get somewhere, it should be no more than 3 clicks to get there.
Mm-hmm. I think that's reasonable.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. 210-308-8867. 210-308-8867. Trace one more time real quick. We'll get people. It's not that far off. 2 weekends away. Well, not this weekend, but 2 weekends from this weekend. It's David's seminar on houseplants.
Yeah, so the 11th or something.
Yeah, the 11th.
Okay.
10 o'clock, 10 to 11, 10 to 11:30, I guess.
10 to 11:30.
Okay. And what will he be talking about?
Houseplants.
Okay, like
So if you want to ditch that poinsettia,
Mhm.
he'll show you what you can replace with. I'm sure he'll talk about the easy-to-grow plants, how to water, how to fertilize, trimming, repotting.
Do you think he'd be talking about a Diefenbachia?
He might be.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if David likes Diefenbachia.
I don't know.
I know
you do. Yes.
I know I do. Yes, I'm very proud of my fondness for Diefenbachia. So let's see. But you're what? Zippies? What were the
ZZ
ZZ? Okay, I was close.
stands for Zimmericallis zimerifolia.
Okay, that's what you recommend. So people can ask David about that. What was the other one that you liked?
Pothos ivy.
Oh, okay.
Everybody's got that one.
Yeah,
But ZZ plants are great for people that travel.
because they don't have to.
They don't have to worry or get someone to come in and water their plants while they're gone.
And you've personally not watered yours for more than.
So in
Three-
a
for th-
previous retail situation,
Oh, okay. I thought you said your home.
we put them in selected areas because we had limited lighted structure areas. And they'd sit there for, I mean, we'd sell a bunch of them, don't get me wrong, but some would sit there for up to 3 months, and with no water, they looked just as fine as they did when they came in.
Very cool. All right, we're going to take a quick break. While we do, give us a call, 210-308-8867, 210-308-8867. More of Milberger's Gardening South Texas coming up live from Milberger's Landscaping and Nursery, 1604 on Boulevardy Road on 9:30 a.m. The Answer. And welcome back to Milberger's Gardening South Texas on 9:30 a.m. The Answer. James is on the line at 210-308-8867. Oh, my goodness, James. Welcome to the show. How you doing?
I'm doing fine, thank you.
Good. Yeah.
Okay. I'm sorry. I got two questions, if I may.
Yes, you may.
I planted my white Bermudas I got from Milberger's a couple of weeks ago in containers, half whiskey barrels. And I didn't put the Osmocote Plus in there. I kind of forgot when I got around to doing it. But anyway, so they're in there, and I used a 312 liquid fertilizer, soluble fertilizer. I want to know, because I believe onions are heavy feeders, since there's nothing really in the soil, just potting mix per se. How often can I feed them every time with that? I want to push them because I want them to grow fast. I don't want to burn them. How often can I use that 312 on these onions in a container?
What is the source of the nitrogen in there?
Oh gosh, hold on, the container's right over here. Oh, you know what? I ripped the label off. I use the same container for years, and just it comes in the baggies, and I keep dumping the baggies in there. I don't know.
I suspect it's a slow nitrogen source. So I
don't know.
I would be inclined if you wanted to maximize access to nitrogen, I would be inclined to do a little bit. What is our fertilizer?
312 or
No.
or
Winterizer,
no.
the 1959?
No. The one we use for containers.
Oh, Miracle Grow?
Osmocote.
Oh, I thought I said that.
Osmocote Plus.
Oh, plus, okay.
Osmocote.
Okay.
I'd use that.
I'm just. What do they look like right now? Because I think you're a little early on the fertilization.
Okay, I only watered them in with that one time when I planted about a week and a half ago, I guess. Yeah. So they need. I was thinking it was going to rain, so I hadn't watered them. Well, it didn't rain here. So they're due for a drink, and I wanted to fertilize them, but I wanted to call to find out if I should hold off.
So how are the tops? How green are the tops?
Once I planted them and initially fertilized them, they greened right up. They look really nice.
So they're green, and they look like they are photosynthesizing and everything like that. Now, once they turn, or the tops turn green and fill out, then that's when you start fertilizing. And I'm with Calvin. Life is simpler when you use something like Osmocote.
Okay, I do have some of that. I did not mix it into the soil before I planted.
That's fine.
Okay.
That's fine when you incorporate or add it to the soil. What's the first thing you do, Milton? What's the first three things you do? You water it in.
You water it in.
You water it in,
and then you water
it in.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's good in that regard. That regards, I think it's a good time. You add the Osmocote, they add the fertilizer, and you water it.
And
So
I think the Osmocote is more likely to release some of that nitrogen early too, whereas your 312 is sounds like it's all of it is a slow release source.
Yeah, so that's what I think. I think you're right. I think there's multiple sources of nitrogen, and they're different time lengths. Quick, fast, quick, medium, and slow.
And I've always had such good luck with Osmocote that I don't hate to take a
if I'm
chance.
following correctly, since I've already planted these onions in the containers, so I should kind of side dress or sprinkle the Osmocote on top or not?
Yeah, you can sprinkle it on the.
You can sprinkle it all over
soil. It'll be fine.
Okay, well that's what I'll do. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, my second question. I have 2 crepe myrtles at the end of my driveway, one on each side, that I planted in 1999. They're about 6 feet tall, about my height. And ever since we had that hard 9-degree freeze, they just have not looked good. Now, I remember hearing in the past that you can cut those things down to the ground, it'll rejuvenate. So if I want to try it, I mean, if I lose them, I lose them. And if I do that, is this the right time of year to do that?
I would probably wait another 60 days or 45 days. So, yeah, I forget what time of year it is. 45 days in order to do that. Now, will it cause sprouting from the base and you can train that again? Maybe. It depends on how much damage had occurred and how much food reserves were in the roots.
When would you fertilize now or fertilize?
No, fertilize when
spring?
The leaves are out. Yeah, when the leaves are out, or just as the leaves are coming out. That's when I would do that.
I think
So normally you're going to get leaves coming out middle of March, maybe the third week of March. So I would probably do it about second to the third week of February.
So cut them down middle of February, more or less.
Yeah.
A month later, they start growing.
You should start seeing some growth, if there is growth in there.
Now, that's what my concern is. What do you think the odds are they're going to resprout from the root, or there's no way?
Oh, I don't know. I can't tell you.
You don't know? I got
yeah, I'd have to see them all the way from 21, see how they're faring a little bit. But if they were not, I trust you, James, if they weren't looking good, the odds are about 50-50.
Yeah, each year they've looked a little worse since that part freeze.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, I'll debate what I want to do, or just let them go and fertilize them, and maybe they'll bounce back this spring.
There you go.
All right.
I've got a little more confident than you two are. I think they'll respond, especially if you give them that nitrogen that we're talking about.
All righty. We'll go back to talk to Bert on the line at 210-308-8867, and then Lulu's on the line after Bert. What's going on, Bert?
I'm doing fine. I've got a question about the watermelon. We bought a watermelon yesterday, and it said seedless watermelon. When you cut it open, and there's a bunch of seeds in it. How can that be?
Well, some are seedless, some have seeds. It's the newest thing in watermelon.
So if it said seedless, it doesn't guarantee that there are no seeds?
Well, no. They tend to be white or small.
Were they small and white?
Yeah, but some are darker, yellowish, and a few are black. So I kept the black ones. Are they self-pollinating watermelon? The plants?
I don't know. Do you know watermelon?
That kind of would surprise me. Are they? I mean, did you buy the seed in a package?
No, sir. Just a watermelon in the grocery store, and my wife cut it up this morning. So, hey, there's a bunch of seeds in it.
Yeah, I wouldn't have a lot of confidence that that's going to be a it'd be fun to try it. But
yeah. So you're right. You stick with the dark ones. But, like Calvin, I have little confidence on that one.
Because they are not, I would bet they're not the ones that are used for the seed source. They're the ones, the production that they
come along.
They sell, and then there's another set that they collect the seed from.
They are bred to be sterile.
There we go. That's
interesting. I'm growing hops for my beer brewing hobby, and then you only take the female plants, you get the flowers, and that's what you want. You don't want the seeds, but you want the flowers. Well, doesn't look like a flower, but interesting.
That's like the New Gold lantana. They're bred to be sterile, so they never produce seeds, or rarely produce seeds, but they continuously flower all the time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Can I ask one more question?
Real quick. We got one more person. I want to see if we can get everybody in.
Okay.
Or you want to call us tomorrow?
I can call back tomorrow. Yeah.
Call back tomorrow, Bert.
That's fine. Yeah.
Thanks, man. We always enjoy talking to you.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
You're welcome.
Watch out for those watermelons. All right. We have Lulu on the line at 210-308-8867. It sounds like a TV show. Lulu on the line. What's going on, Lulu?
Hello. Well, I just wanted to say that about a week and a half ago, right before we got out of school, the children found 3 little monarch caterpillars in our little patch of tropical milkweed, and they were beyond excited. But I didn't think we would get any little caterpillars at all because we didn't see very many monarchs come into that part of the garden. But obviously they did, and they weren't eaten by anything. So that's been really fun. And I checked on them yesterday, and they're still growing. So I'm going to have to get some more milkweed out there or something, or bring them home, because there's not much milkweed left.
No.
Well, if we can coordinate, I could bring in some of the
the
big
giant white.
Yeah, there you go. Hey, look, Lulu, you read Calvin and I's mind.
Well, I didn't think about that. Maybe do you think I should just transport them home and put them on those plants? Because I've got a giant one still.
He's thinking.
Well, I had 3 a few weeks ago too, but they were on tropical milkweed.
Right.
And then I wasn't able to find them 2 days ago. So, but the last year, gosh, they loved that giant white exotic.
They really did. Oh yeah, they loved that.
Yeah, I could carry some in tomorrow, but I don't know if that would be convenient for you.
What are you bringing in?
It's good. Yeah, that sounds great.
What are you bringing in?
Some foliage from the milkweed.
Okay.
That'll be perfect.
Okay, all I got to do is remember.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm also
going
to bring in some tomatoes too.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that sounds good.
I'll have to send you a reminder. What time do you leave to come to the show?
Oh, hey Lulu, bring in some of those nice little paper packets, the little small ones. Then we could put tomatoes in that for you.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm talking?
You mean like
little seed packets.
Oh no, I think he's bringing real tomatoes.
Oh, real tomatoes.
Okay.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, not the seeds aren't, but yeah. So cool,
that
Lulu.
sounds tasty. Okay. Yeah.
All right,
just wanted to catch up.
Get here during the show so we can interview you again about your monarchs
and your class,
and your class and stuff.
Oh yeah, definitely. They're coming along. They're doing really well. Those kids.
Yeah, it
sounds good.
We'll talk
great.
about them. What was that?
Oh, you said it sounds great.
Yep, Sounds good. Well, I'll see y'all tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.
Bye-bye, Lulu.
All righty.
Bye-bye.
Today, that's going to end it all. We're going to encourage you to come by and visit with us tomorrow like Lulu did. It'll be another pretty day. On behalf of Calvin and Mark, we want to thank thank Al for doing a great job, and, of course, thank you for listening. I'm Milton Glueck. See you tomorrow on 9:30 a.m. This is The Answer.